Hey everyone, welcome to the Vita Cast episode 108. We've been gone for quite a long time, but we're back, so don't worry. It's me, Tyler Olthoff, joined alongside always Kyle Wakeling. What's up, Kyle?
Not too much, Tyler. What's up with you?
Not too much either. I mean, we've been gone for what is it, like 20 something days, a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's been crazy. Busy life stuff for me, and I think you said the same. So yeah,
Yeah,
nothing to be calling home about.
yeah. Now, if there was ever a moment where we couldn't do this anymore, we'd definitely just say something. We wouldn't just go fucking media dark and not say anything. So
Yeah, so that's definitely not the plan.
yeah, so we're back. Hopefully, we can try to get our schedules more aligned up, and if not, we'll let you know. But fingers crossed, we'll be good. We'll be back. Don't worry. So we've been gone for a long time, Kyle. So of course, there's been tons of games you've been playing, right? Right.
Not so much.
Oh, Kyle.
As I said, I've been busy with life stuff, kind of. So kind of been out of my element in that regards. I have played a couple things, but not as crazy amount as you might expect.
Okay, well,
Um,
lay it on us.
Well, first of all, I played some J-Stars Victory versus, working towards some more trophies on that. I haven't really dug in too far, so it's kind of, kiddie stuff at this moment, but I keep going back to it, so it's there.
Yeah.
Also, I just got Steins Gate, so I've been playing that quite a bit. I'm not too far, but it's starting to get interesting, so that's good.
Nice.
Yeah, that'll probably be what I'm going to do after this podcast. Also, I just finished Hatoful Boyfriend Holiday Star, which I couldn't really finish it before because they had like a kind of trophy glitch due to one area not being accessible in the menu. So they issued a 1.4 gigabyte update, and yeah, now I'm at 100%. Yeah, not the greatest follow up to Hatoful Boyfriend. Really flat, no substance to it. Like, I mean, the stories that they gave you, some of them were kind of interesting and stuff, and there's like a part where they kind of break the fourth wall and do like a radio show answering questions from readers, and that's kind of cool. But other stuff, just it was really lame, and the fact that they didn't really have the choices that they had in the original, like there wasn't diverging storylines, it was lame.
Yeah.
So they need to work on that. My review's up on the site if you're interested, and it has now been fixed. So some of the issues that I talked about at the end there have now been fixed. But yeah, played that. I also played some Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel, but I still haven't got to another chapter. So like I'm pretty much wandering around like an idiot. um, and I also played some Hot Shots Golf because can't stay away. Can't stay away. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's me. What about you?
Well, I've been playing a ton of The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel. I have that game for review, so I've been pushing really hard to get through it, but I'm like 40 something hours into the game and still on chapter 5, and there's 7 chapters, so it's interesting. Hopefully I can, finish the game by the end of the year. That'd be nice, right, Kyle?
Sounds like your time management is crying out for more Trails of Cold Steel, Tyler.
Yeah, I am like literally while I was waiting to play, I play or waiting to record this podcast. When did I send you a message? Like, it was, or when did you send me a message? Was it a couple hours ago saying, "Hey, I'll be around," blah blah blah?
No, that wasn't hours ago. It was like from right now. It was an hour ago.
Okay.
So
So
yeah,
before you messaged me, I was playing maybe about an hour or two before that, and I've been playing ever since, and I'm still pushing through chapter 5. It is getting very frustrating. But anyways, yeah, that game is ridiculously long. Um, Hopefully I can finish it soon, and then I can give you my full thoughts and impressions on this game in a review and whatnot. But other than that, I played a tiny bit of Nuclear Throne. That game is so much fun. I love it. If you don't know much about it, you should definitely check it out. It is just super addicting. Also, I played a little bit of Sword Art Online, Hollow Fragment. I just want to get further. I had to use my Capture Vita, though, to play it, because I still have that problem with my new Vita. I can't get it transfer everything over. So I gave up on that. So I'll just play it on my Capture Vita. What else did I play? Where is it? Oh, of course. I played Lego Marvel's Avengers. It was pretty fun. I haven't played very much of it because, like I said, I've been playing a ton of The Legend of Heroes. So I just wanted to get a little taste of what this Lego game was about and see how like one-to-one it is to the console version. And considering I haven't played the console version, I can't really judge it that way, but it does seem pretty awesome. You got the open world, you can fly around as Iron Man through New York City. It's pretty sweet. Like I said, I didn't play very much of it. I've only played maybe an hour at most. So yeah, that's about all I've played since we've been gone. I'm sure there's something else I've played, but I can't remember. But yeah,
You'll come in with it later, like usual.
of course, always. So yeah, anyways, while we've been gone, there's been a few reviews going up on the site, so let's get right into that. First up, we've got the review of Towerfall Ascension. This was reviewed by Brad, and he gave it a 3.8 out of 5, and he says, quote, Towerfall Ascension is multiplayer madness at its finest. The game's simple single screen, arcade combat allows for new and experienced players alike to quickly start up and let the fun begin. It's fast, fluid, and fun. The only downside is the game is predominantly focused on its local-only multiplayer mode, and while there is some single-player content, it is not nearly as exciting. The game is a must-own for PlayStation TV owners looking for local gaming experiences, but otherwise it falls flat on the Vita. End quote. So yeah, this is one that you would probably need another friend that has a Vita, or if you're going to go to the TV route, the PlayStation TV route, then you could really get your bang for your buck. But if you're the only guy in your town that has a Vita and you don't have any people to play on your TV with, then I don't know if I could recommend this one personally. Kyle, did you ever play this one?
Nah, it's not really my cup of tea.
I gotcha. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's one of those games that you gotta really think of your situation and whether or not you get the most out of it. But from what I've heard, it's a pretty good game. So anyways, let's head on to the next review. What do we got, Kyle?
Alright, we got Volume, which was reviewed by Charlie, and he gave it a 4.5 out of 5, saying, quote, After an agonizing delay for PlayStation Vita owners, Volume has finally landed on our favorite handheld, and it plays like a dream. With great gameplay and a perfect port, Volume on the Vita is a must-own title for any Metal Gear fans, and another top-notch title from Mike Bithell. End quote. So it seems like he liked it. The delay really turned me off, so I just don't want to talk about it. What about you, Tyler?
Yeah, I've thought about getting it. I mean, the review right there says that it's a great game, and I really should get it, but at the same time, I'm just like, I've got some other stuff to play, and yeah, it's one day maybe. One day, if I see it on sale and it's a really reasonable price, I'll jump right on it. So yeah, I'm holding out. All right, next up we've got Red Game Without a Great Name. This was reviewed by Carrie Lee, and she gave it a 2.6 out of 5, and she said, quote, It's all in the name. Red Game Without a Great Name lacks the ambition of creative flair to offer anything other than short bursts of distraction. Its shortcomings are too frequent and too detrimental to ignore, making any appeal in its simplistic gameplay impossible to stomach for too long. The amount of content for the price offers a great amount of value, but the consistency and quality just isn't there. End quote. So yeah, avoid it, it sounds like. Kyle?
Yeah, I don't know too much about this one as far as, like, I didn't read that review and stuff. As I said, I've been busy. But I did see this game a bit when I was putting together the videos for 2016 and the videos for, I think, December or something like that. I don't know. Some of the videos we were doing. And it looks cool, but it's one of those things that looks cool but doesn't impress me gameplay-wise. I don't know. Yeah. I liked watching it for the few minutes that, I saw shown in the trailer, but other than that, it's not for me.
Right. Yep, same here. Alright, next up we've got The Bit Trip. This was reviewed by Zach. He gave it a 3.5 out of 5, and he says, quote, The Bit Trip almost certainly has something for you. However, it also almost certainly has a few games that aren't for you. If you take a look at the games and a few pique your interest, I'd say it's worth your time despite the 2 or 3 you won't enjoy. End quote. So I believe this is like one of those collection type deals. So you got to really see if a few of those games are worth it or not for you. I got this one as a code, but I didn't want to use it. I think I gave it to you, Kyle.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
And the only thing I've poked on it is the runner game, and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So I'm enjoying that. But other than that, I have no idea.
Would you have bought it if you weren't given a code?
Maybe on sale. Like I wanted the runner game, but at the same time, I might have just bought the runner game by itself. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, all right. So what do we got next, Kyle?
All right. Last up, we have Atelier Escha and Logi Plus, Alchemist of the Dusk Sky, which was reviewed by Jenny, and she gave it a 4.4 out of 5, saying, quote, Atelier Escha and Logi is a great blend of alchemy, combat, and exploration. The story isn't very complex, but the characters are sweet and charming, and you'll end up wanting to see all the character endings. There's tons of things to do, items to create, and places to explore, end quote. So it looks like the content was what made Jenny enjoy this game, but yeah. I'm not sure about these Atelier games. The whole time management thing kind of threw me off, and then just kind of ripping that out to give you weird little quest things for the new ones. I don't know.
Yeah. There's so many of these Atelier games that it's... I don't know what the word is, but you know, I've tried the earlier ones that came out, and they look really fun. The graphics are really appealing, but I'm not the biggest fan of the time management kind of stuff, and I don't know, they never really just hooked me. So I got a code for this game, I downloaded it, I started it, and then I just forgot about it because I had it on my Capture Vita, and I've been using my newer Vita to play a lot of my stuff, so it was just sitting there for a long time, and I haven't really touched it yet. So maybe one day I'll jump in and actually give it a shot. Maybe this will be the one that actually hooks me.
First world Vita problems.
Yep. So there you go. There's the reviews from the time we've been gone. Quite a few games to check out. So feel free to head to the site, read the full reviews, and decide whether or not they're worth for you. So
Now, Tyler.
What?
Just got to note, that's only up until the 20th. I know it's around the 31st when you're getting this, but we will be bringing you, hopefully, another cast very soon to catch up the rest of the stuff. So that's not everything, but that's a good chunk of it.
That makes sense. Yep. All right. So you'll hear more soon. Anyways, we've got the new releases, so let's jump into them. This is from
Up until the 20th.
the 20th. Okay, everything's from the 20th.
Some things were released before the 20th, but all the stuff, up until the 20th, there it is, that we haven't announced.
All right. I read you loud and clear, Kyle. We're seeing eye to eye.
Through the computer.
Right. Unless I'm looking right at you.
You're not.
All right. You got me. Anyways, for North America, we got A Boy and His Blob. It was released at $8.49. Its regular price is $9.99. We also got the aforementioned Atelier, Escha, and Logi Plus, Alchemist of the Dusk Sky for $39.99. And we also got Baseball Riot for $4.99. Oddworld New and Tasty, released at $8. Its regular is $19.99. And Red Game Without a Great Name for $4.99. Kyle, Europe, what did they get?
Europe got Oddworld New and Tasty for £15.99, €19.99, or $29.95 Australian dollars. They got A Boy and His Blob for £9.49, €11.99, or $17.95 Australian dollars. They got Atelier Escha and Logi Plus, Alchemist of the Dusk Sky for £32.99, €39.99, or I don't know the Australian price. And they got Baseball Riot for £3.99 or €4.99, and I don't know the Australian price.
Well, all right. So, did you pick up any of these games, Kyle?
I have not. Not a single one.
Really?
Really.
All right. Well, that was easy. Is there any that you want from this list?
Well, I was kind of into Oddworld New and Tasty until I read Charlie's review, and though he gives it a good score, it just seems not for me.
I gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe A Boy and His Blood, but other than that, not so much.
Right. Yeah, Avoidance Blob, I looked at it. It seems interesting. If it was super cheap and I had nothing to play, which I never will because I have way too many games, so odds are I'll never get it. But one day maybe. And then Atelier Escher, of course, I got that code, so maybe I'll start it up and start playing it one day. As for the other games, oh, Kyle, guess what?
What?
I remember a game I played,
What game?
Baseball Riot, because I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, I've played a little bit of that during our time off. So yeah, anyways, I got that. It's more of like that one game, Tennis in the
Tennis in
Face,
the Face, yeah.
but with a baseball theme. So if you're a fan of Tennis in the Face, then Baseball Riot's definitely something you should pick up. So, and it's pretty cheap, so it's a good time waster. And then the other two games that I don't have are Oddworld and Untasty and Red Game Without a Great Name. Both not something I'm really interested in, so I'll save my money. I'm saving it, Kyle.
Do it.
I got places to be.
People to spend it on.
Yeah. No,
Me.
myself. No.
I mean,
Anyways, yeah, there you go. Those are your new releases. So go check them out. And we've got a ton of news to go through, Kyle.
we do, but some of it is very short form, Tyler, so it's not as long as you would think it would be.
It's very true.
So there.
But it is our own fault for not recording.
Very true, very true.
We only have ourselves to blame. So let's get into it. Let's push through this, Kyle. First up, back in December, you may remember that we brought you some new information about characters that will appear in Summon Night 6. Now, however, we have some more characters to introduce you to. Joy, I get to read names. Asuto is a mysterious young man from the Cocoon world who had been watching Raj and Amu. He seems reluctant to talk about his background, but he also seems to be the only person who knows about the Cocoon world in detail. Renee is another resident from the Cocoon world. Lyrum is the guardian dragon of Losberg. He's known as a bit of a troublemaker and has a mischievous and curious personality. Lisher is Ray's childhood friend. Lisher was one of the people who found the dragon kid Lyrum when he was a child and fought a gang that was after him. Ray is a shopkeeper at the Trail Town Inn and a superb cook. He's a master of martial arts thanks to his dad forcing him to train. Falth is a meditation summoner that belongs to the Outer World Meditation Bureau, Ircross, with his cross, Pariat. Ah, jeez. He's a serious person, but at times can also be lax. His part-time job is making coffee at his landlord's shop. Pariat is Falth's cross. She follows Falth's lead and always does her best to help him. Torque is a prodigy Meister. He originally came to Savalor City, Kyle's loving this, to try to discover the secret of the magical sword. Luchelle is a merchant demon. She has the incredible rare ability to move between worlds. Melgitos is the demon king who tried to invade Linbarm. He was sealed away thanks to the angel Aramin. I'm butchering all these, I bet. The barrier eventually weakened though, and he came back. Keel is the son of Ordrek and was elected to be in charge of the colorless faction's demon king advent ceremony. Toya Fukazaki is a student who was summoned to Linbarm from modern-day Japan. After many trials, he became one of the legendary Linkers. He fought against the colorless faction leader Ordrek and defeated the demon king who descended again. The latest issue of V-Jump magazine has revealed even more characters coming to Summon Night 6 Lost Borders. The added characters are Summon Night 5's Rex, voiced by Takahiro Sakurai, and Ardria, voiced by Yuki Matsuoka. Summon Night 4's Fair, voiced by Hisoko Toja. Sealong, voiced by another Japanese person. Mil Reef, another Japanese person, voiced that guy, or girl. And Korlal, guess what? Another Japanese person. Summon Knights 3's Leold and Ishlar. Summon Knight 2's Loth or Ioth. And Summon Knights Banasa. The magazine also revealed 2 minigames, fishing and cooking. You collect ingredients from cooking, then use those to cook. And finally, Bandai Namco has also announced the first print copies of Summon Night 6 Lost Borders will include a code to obtain Oyakata from Summon Nights 4 as a summons beast. He comes equipped with a handy item set that will prove very useful in the early parts of the game. Summon Night 6 Lost Borders launches March 10th in Japan.
And Tyler loves me, and I didn't even do that on purpose. That just kind of happened.
Fuck you.
All the names right at the start. There you go.
Yep. Warming me up. It's been too long. Alright. Let's continue. Combat action shooter Space Overlords is coming to Vita later in 2016 with a mission of retaliation over multiple galaxies. Space Overlords will see you playing as one of 4 different characters with a score to settle. Your mission will see you set off on a mission of retaliation against the evil Kesadahan. Liberate planets that she has dominated and set her on a journey of annihilation. Our press release tells us that the game will initially feature 7 galaxies in a single-player mode, with you playing either the main gameplay cooperative or gameplay loop on the 8 planets in each galaxy. The multiplayer aspect of the game will see you facing off against other players in 4 modes. Space Overlords comes with a built-in level editor, which of course allows you to create and share your own creations with other players via a community tab, and other players can try to beat those planets. The game also features a long and awesome combo system, which awards players for every building, ship, and inhabitant destroyed, and a max combo indicator will helpfully tell you where you are at. Other features you can expect to see in Space Overlords are: create planets using the built-in level editor, share new planets and then attack other players' planets for action-packed gameplay, pick up and play free rampage, destroy every building and inhabitant of a planet before time runs out, enjoy playing as a different race with a choice of up to 6 overlords, PvP multiplayer mode, up to 4 players, upgrade your character with items and power-ups, adds to pace of the game, local and multiplayer modes, a whole host of different levels including variable game levels with switchable core mechanic, 4 playable characters. Space Overlord is developed by Colombian coders 12-Hit Combo, and we are told that it will be out in April. Keep an eye out for more news as this one gets closer to release. Bandai Namco recently released some more information about Gundam Breaker 3, including story details, information about present Gundams and mobile suits, customization details, bounty mode, and more. Starting with the story, we've now learned that it takes place 1 year after the completion of the orbital elevator. As the protagonist, you're playing as at a game center and meet a girl named Misa. She wants to recruit you for the shopping district Gunpla team, as she's the public relations rep and they're looking to restore the complex. From there, you'll compete in local tournaments, earning your way up to the national level in a bid to become the top Gunpla team and achieve your goals. Speaking of Gunpla, Gundam Breaker 3 adds over 20 new units and features SD and BB Zenshi units as support characters. It also includes the following Gundams and mobile suit units: Full Armor Gundam, Psycho Zaku, another name I can't read, Yago, Kapul, Gundam G-Self. You'll be able to customize mobile suits, altering their colors, of adding plating, coating, dirtiness, and even faux damage. There are attachable weapons that you can add to parts as well, such as missile pods, beam launchers, and more. SD Gundams will take a different route, allowing you to alter them with modules. These modules will provide benefits to the whole team, not just the SD Gundam. Lastly, a new non-real-time method of play called Bounty Mode has been announced. This mode will allow you to fight your Gunpla against the uploaded Gunpla of another player for in-game currency. Gundam Breaker 3 is set to release March 3rd in Japan, priced at 6,800 yen for the PlayStation Vita version. First print orders of the games will include the Gundam Barbodas 4th form.
Alright, next up, 2D adventure platformer Sir Eats-A-Lot is coming to Vita fairly soon, and will have 13 different levels to play through. Your goal as the plump player will be to find and stop the evil witch Hysterica, who has poisoned Gluddington Kingdom with bitter lemonade. Behind the Stone have said that they are working hard on the gameplay features, and there should hopefully be some gameplay footage around March or April. We'll be sure to share it with you as soon as it's available. Next up, bad news for those of you who are hoping to play Rule 7's upcoming shoot-'em-up, Not a Hero, on Vita, as it has been revealed that the game has now been cancelled for PlayStation Vita. I was just holding there for the crying. Moving on. The news came the same day as the PlayStation 4 version was dated, with press releases noticeably staying silent on the Vita version. Many fans took to Twitter to ask for a response, but none was given. However, a blog post was updated on the game's official website to confirm the cancellation. Here's a quote. First and foremost, there was the issue of getting the game to work on Vita. I've always considered the Vita to be a key political constituency, but making games work on it is incredibly hard, especially as it's basically a minuscule television hiding inside an obese DS4 controller. End quote. Here's another quote. Quote, in the end, we simply tried copying the whole game onto a 3.5-inch floppy disk and jamming it into the back of the Vita. But this caused dangerous overheating and one of our test kits exploded, killing the entire Not a Hero Vita programming team in a fully upsetting and totally avoidable fireball of nasty burning. Initially, we thought it was baddies that had done it, but it turned out to be our team's own fantastic ineptitude. It was at this juncture, our lawyers advised us to abandon the port and come up with an elaborate excuse for its cancellation. End quote. So, there it is. Not a Hero is not a coming, which simply means for us Vita favoring that we aren't as likely to play it. Poor Roll 7, poor Devolver Digital, and most of all, poor us. Yeah. Moving on. In a recent issue of Famitsu magazine, Nippon Ichi Software announced that Rose and the Old Castle of Twilight is coming to the PlayStation Vita. The game will be produced by the same team as Hotaru no Nakai, The Firefly Diary, including Masayuki Furuya, who is the game and character designer. The game will have a similar feel to Firefly Diary, and looks a bit like it as well. As for the premise, the player will take on the role of a young girl called Rose who, along with a mysterious giant, will explore a ruined old castle. Your goal will be to try to escape. Furuya has said in an interview that they are planning to take feedback on board from their last game and make any necessary balance adjustments. Rose in the Old Castle of Twilight has been announced for release on April 26, 2016 for PlayStation Vita.
Last month, we brought you the news that visual novel Eve Burst Arrow would be getting an updated remake for Vita and PC. We now have a firm release date for the title, with Japanese Vita owners able to get their hands on the copy on April 28th. The remake will be titled Eve Burst Arrow R and will release 21 years after the original. It has been revealed that the remake will use the original game as the base for characters and events, but it will also include updated graphics. There will also be a text script option added for good measure. Check out the plot for the game below. A bizarre serial murder mystery, there's a serial killer close by. A prohibited psycho thriller, the multi-site system reveals surprising truth. In this game, there are two heroes, Kojiro and Marina, who are each called to solve their own cases. This game allows you to switch characters at any time to solve the mystery these heroes encounter. This multi-site adventure allows you to view what's happening behind the scenes from the other character's perspective, bump into each other, and sometimes even help each other out. Together, they come closer and closer to the shocking truth through their combined actions and skills of deduction. Marina's episode. Marina is a national intelligence agent with a 99% success rate. Her new assignment is to protect the daughter of a Japanese embassy official stationed abroad. As you encounter numerous attackers, you become aware of a dangerous government dispute that is the root of all these attacks. Kojiro's episode, a seemingly down-on-his-luck private investigator finally gets a break, as he is hired to locate some mysterious piece of art. Even though he feels a little weird about this case, the pay is huge. Yet he may be drawn into an unexpected nightmare involving a string of bizarre murders. Keep checking back to TVL for all the latest on Eve Burst Error R, as we'll be keeping an eye on this one. Next up, The first Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel game released in Europe just a few days ago on the 29th, but a month after its North American release, Exceed Games revealed via a blog post that the translation for its sequel is almost complete. The translation of the game currently stands at 95% completion, with editing of the game 45% complete. Editing began as soon as the original had been completed. Up next, Exceed will be recording the English dialogue for the game. There will be 11,000 lines of dialogue to record, and this is due to begin in March. The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 2 was originally released in September 2014 in Japan, and we still await confirmation of a release date. Don't be too disheartened, though, as Exceed have said they are on schedule with the Western release, and it will be with us at some point in 2016. Lacuna Walker, the lady behind the fantastic-looking art for upcoming Axe Studios game Y2K, a postmodern RPG, has revealed that she was working on her own project, which is now live on Kickstarter, and it will hit Vita if its goal is met. Hush Hush 229 is described to be a cross between a stealth game and a visual novel, which will see players take the role of a save data analyst. This is described as imagining playing as Mi Ling from Metal Gear Solid 3. Here's the official description. Imagine playing Metal Gear Solid from the perspective of Mi Ling, or the tanker mission from Metal Gear Solid 2 from the perspective of Otacon. The player will assume the role of an operative in the Metal Gear Solid and Quentin Tarantino-inspired tale. You'll be responsible for the mental welfare of two operatives who are currently undertaking a sneaking mission. You'll manage their save data, analyze security footage, provide digital backup during boss battles, and help them cope with the mental trauma of the battlefield. Check out the official Kickstarter page via a quick search or the link in the post on the site if you're interested. Elsewise, we'll be keeping you informed.
Alright, moving on. Indie developer Constantine Graf has announced via Twitter that his game, Swap Quest, is indeed headed our way. A, quote, captivating new mix of easy-to-learn puzzle mechanics and old-school RPG elements, according to the YouTube description, Swap Quest looks to be a great title for players looking for familiarity and something new. Don't believe me? The tweet from Constantine Graf at RebusMind, exactly as it sounds, says, quote, big news. Swap Quest will be coming to the PS Vita RT Fave like +1! Exclamation point. So there you go. Are you excited to try Swap Quest on Vita? It looks like Constantine is equally excited to bring it to you, so expect some news soon. It is slated for an early 2016 release after all. Next up, NIS America has announced that it will be publishing Grand Kingdom in North America and Europe, the game set to release in summer 2016. Originally developed by Monochrome and published by Spike Chunsoft, the tactical RPG has been available in Japan for 2 months now on both PlayStation 4 and Vita, with a demo out in the region if you're interested in the try before you buy situation. In addition to bringing the game to the West, NIS America in Europe took to Twitter to confirm a physical release of both versions, so collectors and physical purists can breathe a sigh of relief now. We'll be back with more information as it develops, but for now, we wait till summer. Kicking on. In the latest issue of Weekly Jump magazine, 4 new characters have been revealed as playable characters in One Piece Burning Blood. The 4 characters are Nami, Nico Robin, Boa Hancock, and Perona, each with a different set of attacks unique to their fighting style in the series. Nami uses her weather-based climb attack, Robin uses her Hana Hana fruit as a mid-range attack, Hancock uses her Miro Miro fruit as a long-range attack, along with her Haki, and Perona uses her Hollow to deplete enemies and demotivate them. Bandai Namco also announced that first print physical copies of One Piece Burning Blood will include swimsuit costumes for playable characters Nami, Nico Robin, and Boa Hancock when the game releases in Japan. The digital version of the game will also include all of the aforementioned costumes, as well as a swimsuit costume for Perona. One Piece Burning Blood launches April 21st in Japan and has a June release window for the West.
Alright, the original Rocket Bird's Hard Boiled Chicken released nearly 3 years ago and more recently joined the Vita's PlayStation Plus lineup. Praised for its humor, fun gameplay, and overall excellent presentation, fans were left pinning for a follow-up. prayers were answered when Rocket Birds 2 Evolution was announced back in 2014, but developer Ratloop Asia has kept fairly quiet on the details until now. Xian Tan, creator of the series, took to the PlayStation blog to detail the various tweaks and features included in the sequel, and there's plenty to feast on. First, we've learned that co-op mode has been heavily expanded upon, featuring customizable budgie commando characters, as well as a plethora of guns and items to collect. Multiplayer missions will consist of rescuing hostages that have been held captive in procedurally generated locations, and the player is tasked with carrying them to safety. Up to 4 people can join in on the co-op shenanigans and create a tower of stacked budgie commandos. Unlike its predecessor, Rocket Birds 2 will also allow solo players to go it alone, aptly naming the co-op experience Rescue Mode. As well as boasting about the seriously updated visuals, Ratloop's founder continued to detail the new game's online functionality. A lobby system has been implemented, allowing players to drop in or out at any time during an active online session. After listening to feedback, the developers have been dedicated to ensuring Rocket Birds 2 has the tightened controls, responsiveness, and deep combat mechanics that fans have since yearned for. With practice, players will be able to run, aim, jump, and shoot at the same time, placing a great emphasis on speed this time around. The game is also including a full-blown story mode featuring the hard-boiled chicken, a brand new soundtrack from New World Revolution, new jokes and enemies, and even English and Japanese voice acting. To sweeten the deal even more, Rocket Birds 2 will support cross-buy, cross-save, meaning a one-time purchase to own the game on both Vita and PS4, and the ability to transfer save data between systems. Rocket Birds 2 Evolution is set to hatch on PlayStation consoles soon, so stay tuned. Next up, Oddworld New and Tasty will be getting a physical release on the PlayStation Vita thanks to Oddworld Inc. and Limited Run Games. Oddworld set Limited Run Games a challenge to reach 3,000 Twitter followers, with the prospect of a limited edition physical release of New and Tasty, the reward for Limited Run Games achieving this target. 4 days later, and Limited Games hit that figure, meaning that us PlayStation Vita owners will be given the chance to own a physical version of Abe's latest adventure. Charlie asked Limited Run Games when we could expect the release of the physical version if they were successful with the aim to hit 3,000 followers, to which they replied, quote, "Late February at the earliest and hopefully no later than the end of March," end quote. Oddworld New and Tasty is available now digitally and is cross-buy with both the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3 versions. We'll keep you updated on the physical release as Limited Run Games locks down details. Klaus is a game that follows an office worker who wakes up in a basement with no idea who or where he is, forced to escape the mechanical and constructivist world he finds himself trapped in. The only clue he has to go on is the word Klaus tattooed on his arm. Along the way, he will encounter another playable character, K1, a friendly brute damaged by prolonged imprisonment, and embarks on an oh god, these words are just goofing me right now. Oh god, the journey. It's a journey. Exploring the idea of the fourth wall and awareness of the player playing the game. The game hit the PlayStation 4 recently, but bemused Vita owners convinced that the game was originally announced for the Vita, it was, may be disappointed to hear that the Vita version is delayed till later this year, but it is still coming. We don't have any further details at this time, and it's certainly disappointing that the Vita version has slipped as it looks rather interesting. We'll bring you more news when we have it.
Alright, slipping into the last bit of long-form news. This is a bit long, so bear with me. Uppers, the beat-em-up produced by Marvelous and directed by Kenichiro Takaki, is drawing ever closer to its Japanese release date, meaning more and more details are starting to creep out. One of the latest issues of Weekly Famitsu have revealed that the voice cast and all of the new characters set to feature in the Vita exclusive action game. We now have the voice talent behind the previously announced fighters. Ranma Kamishiro is voiced by Yoshitsugu Matsuoka. Michiru Sakurai is voiced by Nobuyuki Hiyama. Tenmai Sanada is voiced by Masaki Terasoma. Hagi Shiraishi is voiced by Yuto Suzuki. Seiya Koyanagi is voiced by Takuya Eguchi. Junya Koyanagi is voiced by Shinobu Matsumoto. Liu Wuchang is voiced by Kappai Yamaguchi. Cheyenne Ukyo is voiced by Atsushi Imaruka. Max Gurenhart is voiced by Taishi Nakagawa. The brand new characters revealed by Famitsu, as translated by Jamatsu, are Kaiji Kujo, voiced by Kenjiro Tsuda, a man who developed a resort island all on his own. Hiroshi Kanemaru, voiced by Yoji Ueda, an old drunk who works in the finance business. And Nicole, voice actress, to be announced, a mysterious girl who wears a cat ear hoodie. Additional characters have been announced that are integral in the delivery of Upper Story. A mysterious group called Queen is to feature in the game, consisting of 8 ladies. Matsuoko Uchida, voiced by Miduki Hamada. Luna Yurikawa, voiced by Yurika Kubo. Yuma Momosaki, voiced by Hisako Kanemoto. Ketaleya, voiced by Natsu Sasamoto. Amane Sakurai, voiced by Minori Chihara. Fuka Kujo, voiced by Reina Ueda. Karen Takahashi, voiced by Ai Kakuma. And Serena Baikuen, voiced by Megumi Toyoguchi. A store-exclusive purchase bonus has also been announced by Marvelous, Senran Kagura I'm freaking up the English words, just like Tyler. You taught me well, Tyler. Senran Kagura collaboration content, Kagura t-shirt and thong bikini set, will be included in these orders. Uppers is set to release April 21st in Japan, retailing at 6,980 yen. A Western release has yet to be announced, but a demo may be on the way. Next up, Ataya Esha and Logi Plus Alchemists of the Dusk Sky recently dropped in the West, and to celebrate, publisher Koei Tecmo has released a downloadable content in both North American and European territories. As a plus, it's free. The Japanese voice option, available now to download in both regions, allows you to play through the game with the original Japanese voice acting. As explained by Koei Tecmo Europe, the reason this dialogue option has been distributed separately via download is simply due to the file size limitations of the PlayStation Vita cartridges. North America received a physical release. Unfortunately, European customers who imported the physical edition will be stuck with the English voice acting for now due to region locking. In addition, the complete costume set is currently available for free on the European PlayStation Store and includes the following bonus outfits: Neo the Administrator, Happy Wedding and White Knight from Esha and Logi, Last Resort for Logi, and Strip Swimsuit for Esha. The DLC's store description states that the costume content will only be available free of charge for a limited time of 4 weeks, while Koei Tecmo Europe has tweeted a contradicting time period of 2 weeks availability. It has not been confirmed whether the content as a whole will be taken down at that time or simply become paid. With such hazy details, it'd be in your best interest to snap up these extras as soon as possible. For the North American players eager to get their mitts on these bonus outfits, Koei Tecmo America asks for patience, as this is early purchase bonus DLC. It will become available starting January 26th, which was just a few days ago. Everyone that purchases the game from January 19th to February 22nd will be eligible for the promotion and be able to download the content right up until the latter purchase date. Atelier Esha and Logi Plus Alchemist of the Sky is available now on the PlayStation Store. And the very last bit of long-form news. Square Enix' upcoming RPG is set to release in Japan on February 18th, and ahead of the release we've been given details on how gems work in Ikune Tsuyuki no Setsuna and how they will be of use in the game. These gems will be used in addition to armor and weapons, which can be used to learn new command techniques or additional effects. To obtain gems, you exchange materials gathered from the battle in the shop. Each gem requires a unique amount of materials. These gems can then be attached and detached at any time during battle. The more you level up, the more gems you'll be able to attach at one time. So far we know of 7 different types of gems with different effects, which are: Fire Bit. The fire attribute attack power of the equipped character will increase. Stone Bit petrifies an enemy as they are about to attack. Wall. This gem will allow you to receive less damage from enemy attacks. By pressing the appropriate button at the perfect time, the effect is increased. Provoke. As you'd expect, this provokes the enemy, allowing you to take all their attacks. Harvest allows you to recover HP when an enemy is slain. Avenger reflects a small amount of received damage, and Caloric widens your attack, including unleashing single attacks as multiple attacks. As well as the gem-centric news, we were also introduced to a new character known as the Scythe Man. He lacks emotion and looks rather similar to a Reaper. Don't approach him, as he will appear various times in order to kill Setsuna. For those unfamiliar with Ikinu Yuki no Setsuna, the game is set on an island where ritual sacrifice is offered once every 10 years. But for some unknown reason, monsters have begun to attack long before the next sacrifice is due. As the protagonist, you need to escort the next sacrifice, Setsuna. Keep checking back to TBL for all the latest on this game, and now it's some time for some quick Vita tidbits.
Alright, so let's get into those tidbits. First up, we'd like to remind you that History Legends of War, the Vita version, was swapped in for the PlayStation portable game of a similar name partway through the PlayStation Plus month. Grab it while you can, it'll be gone very soon due to the release time of this cast. Next, we've got Japanese anime-based title Punchline has been given a release date for April 28th in Japan, and it will feature 3 editions, a standard edition for 7,800 yen, a digital version for 7,000, and 10,800 yen limited edition, including an art book and drama CD. If you like the anime or like ecchi adventure titles, this one might be for you. Taco Master has finally been released in Canada. Kyle is so excited, and is well on its way to a European release with a PEGI rating in progress. Order up!
Next up, Kenka Bancho Otome has been delayed from March 17th to the ominous title of Spring in Japan, Red Entertainment citing quality control factors as the reasoning. Dragon Quest Builders had its Japanese demo released earlier this month on the Japanese PSN, but Square Enix has announced that it won't be PSTV compatible at all. Bummer. Crypt of the Necrodancer is set to release in the West on February 2nd with cross-buy and a full trophy set in tow. Roguelike rhythm games for the win.
Odin Sphere has been confirmed for a June 7th North American release date, and if the recent Japanese demo is anything to go by, it's quite worth playing. Come on, European release, right guys? Dragon Quest Heroes 2, Twin Kings and the Prophecy's End is set to launch May 27th in Japan, with more news to come early next month. And Double Focus Aya and Momiji's bullet coverage travel log has been released just a few days ago. Landing in the Land of the Rising Sun on January 28th, no news yet on a Western localization, but we've got our ears open.
Next up, according to Game Coder Studios, Attractio is set to hit Vita this February. The date has yet to be confirmed, but it shouldn't be too long till you're playing the gravity-based puzzler. Next up, Velocity 2X has been updated to version 1.04, adding a daily sprint DLC package to the game for free. Daily Sprint is a daily challenge mode, as the name implies, and has you sprinting through random levels as quickly as possible. Nothing wrong with free DLC, right guys? An Amazon leak of Assassin's Creed Chronicles' box art has revealed that the game will be PlayStation TV compatible when it hits early April in the West. Compatibility for the win.
Earth Defense Force 2 Invaders from Planet Space is now set to hit Europe on February 12th, coming a few months later than the North American version, but with all the same fanfare, including a physical release. Time to get your bug squashing on. Steins Gate got a limited edition North American physical version earlier this month from PQ, priced at $39.99 and including a 2016 calendar El Psychon Gru. Dead or Alive Extreme 3 has been delayed from February 25th to March 24th in Japan, with Koei Tecmo citing quality improvements as the reason.
And the last bits. Marvelous have revealed that a special edition of Luminous Arc Infinity will be releasing in Japan this coming March. Titled The Complete Pack, this edition will include a Scenario Pack product code, including all 4 Scenario Packs and all 3 Scenario DX Packs. All your favorite add-ons in one complete package. This edition will cost 3,500 yen plus tax and will be available from March 10th. Unfortunately, we still await details of Western release. Marvelous also announced that Senran Kagura Estival Versus has sold over 300,000 units worldwide, though if you're a player or an anime watcher for that one, you're likely not surprised. And lastly, we'd like to inform you of a recent Vita firmware update with version 3.57. Though a stability update at its core, it also removes Facebook app support and integration, though since its release, people have noted weird battery issues, high Wi-Fi power drain, and other weird problems. Updating is always advised, but if you're having an issue, don't panic. Tweet at Teflon Tactics, TEFLONTACTICS, on Twitter with your problem, and don't do something Hail Mary to try and fix it, as that's what's getting people into trouble. Vita owners have locked themselves out of their games, bricked their Vitas, and corrupted their saves recently, trying to fix something the wrong way. User discretion is advised. And that's the news.
Finally, we made it, Kyle.
We did make it, Tyler. Finally.
We're only in about an hour in. Finally just got done with the news.
Yeah. It happens when it backs up like that.
Yeah, it does. But, yeah. It sure does. But we're done. Yay! Now we can go to other stuff.
And kind of to make this short, there's only one talking point for the week, and if you know us, you know it's announced release games we're looking forward to from the week. So, what looks good, Tyler?
Well, we've got a lot of news here that we went through. So, of course, we talked a little bit about... I mean, we didn't really talk about it. We talked about Y2K and that person like making a new game, but I'm really excited for Y2K. So, I am really excited for Y2K. And the game that the other person's making, I don't remember what it's called, but it also looks or sounds quite interesting. So, also Rocket Birds 2 Evolution. I loved the first Rocket Birds. That game was so much fun. So I'm down to continue the story of Rocket Birds. It felt so good on the Vita, and it's a really fun game. If you haven't played it, you should definitely pick it up. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Of course, Senran Kagura, the new one, Estival Versus. I'm down for that, even though I should still be playing the other one, Shinobi Versus. I need to finish that one. As much as I'm not really a big fan of how Trails of Cold Steel is going, I have interest in the second one. But we'll see when I finally finish the first one if I even want to attempt to do it again. We'll see. As for that, I'm not really seeing too much else of what I want. Well, actually, no. What is it called? Oh god, that Dragon Quest game. Dragon Quest Builders, that one. Yeah, I'm excited for that. I want that. It needs to be announced to come over here. Also, Assassin's Creed Chronicles, have my eye on it. We'll see if I actually want to get it or not. What about you, Kyle?
Well, there's a bit, definitely. We've got like 36 plus games here, so yeah. Looking through Trails of Cold Steel 2, as you mentioned, I'm hearing that one's actually much better than Trails of Cold Steel, and I'm having mediocre amount of fun with Trails of Cold Steel, so maybe I should have waited for that one. Although it's always nice to get in on the ground floor with story stuff, even though it's not really the ground floor because it's some other game's universe, but whatever. Also, Y2K, as we mentioned, we didn't really mention it, but I'm interested in that, so definitely looking forward to that, and the mention kind of brought it up. Grand Kingdom, I wasn't really paying attention to that one before, but now that I hear it's coming west, I'm definitely going to download the Japanese demo and kind of give it a whirl. I don't know how far I'll get, because I don't even really know how much text is in it, but we'll see. What else? All right. One Piece Burning Blood. I keep saying these fucking One Piece games I need to get into, but haven't got there yet. Hopefully I will. Maybe that'll be the one. I don't know. Uppers. They're saying a demo for that one as well, and it's Kenichiro Takaki who does Senran Kagura and other crazy things, so I'd be up for that if it came over, and I'll be trying the demo, and you never know. It might hook me. What else? Punchline, I would love for that to come over, but I doubt it's gonna. The anime was kind of crazy. Yeah. We'll move on. Dragon Quest Builders, the lack of PlayStation TV support for the Japanese demo and the actual game kind of put a little stab in my heart. But I don't know. I might be interested. It sounds like it's far enough away from Minecraft that I won't be like, oh fuck this game. What else? What else? Yeah. Odin Sphere Leaf Thracier. I played the Japanese demo, and as I think I said last time we were doing a podcast, it's freaking awesome. So if you haven't played that, do, or just wait until I think it's July and get it. I think that's pretty much it. I got Steins Gate, so I don't have to talk about that. Oh, Dead or Alive Extreme 3. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully we'll have something unique to talk about that later. But yeah, stay tuned. Yeah, that's it.
Well, all right. Yeah, a lot to look forward to, and we've got a lot of listener mail to read now.
Yes.
We've been gone a while, so it's piled up. We apologize, guys, but we're gonna get through this. So, first up, what features of the Vita prototype would you have liked to see? This was asked from Gus_888 on Twitter. He linked us to a YouTube video of a guy that had a prototype Vita, it seems, and I watched it. It kind of looks like a PSP Go. Like they were trying to go with the PSP Go look, but of course it still had like the Vita OS and whatnot. But it's really weird looking. What features, Kyle? What features would you like have seen?
I kind of like the sliding screen, but at the same time, I think that's just one more thing that would get broken or screwed up over wear.
Yeah.
So, as much as I kind of like that idea, I think that's kind of the only thing I can pick out.
Did you have a Go?
And so there you have. No, I didn't have a Go. I had a 1000, like the original PSP way back.
Yeah. See, the thing, I think having the sliding feature would have been probably pretty good, because I had a Go, and it was really nice to just like slide the analog stick away and like hide the buttons, and I could just put the Go in my pocket, and it was like, if you ever had a PSP Go, they're pretty tiny, and it was pretty nice. But yeah, I don't know. For me, I believe this prototype also had an SD slot, so it didn't use the proprietary memory cards that we see now. So I would have loved to see them stick with the standard SD cards, because then I feel like it probably would have sold a lot more, because people could just buy cards for like really cheap, and that would have probably helped a lot. But yeah, other than that, I didn't really see much else that looked like it was needed. I like the Vita how it is. There's a few things I'd change, but those were the only. Yeah, I'd agree with you, Kyle. And yeah, so there you go. Next up, Kyle, what do we got?
Alright, this one's from Non-Skippo, and he asks, with the Muv-Luv port of Vita coming out later this year, are any of you watching the Schwartz and Markin anime?
No.
No. I don't even, I think I kind of glossed over this one, and I was like, nah, that's lame. And I tested.
I don't even know anything about it, so.
Yeah, I don't know how it's related to Muv-Luv. I couldn't tell you. I don't know why I should be watching it. Maybe you should tell us, Non-Skippo, because I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, alright. Well, next question. Do you want me to read it, or do you want to go for it?
No, I can read these because they're all Non-Skippo ones.
Okay.
Next one up from Non-Skippo is, how skeptical should we be with Sakai Project's latest Kickstarter Vita promises? And then they give a link there.
So I didn't even I couldn't find the promises other than like what they were saying of how difficult everything was going to be and whatnot. So am I like lost on this one of their promises?
I don't know. Like I just like this whole Sakai Projects thing. I like Sakai Projects. I follow them on Twitter. They seem to be doing a lot of good for Vita, promotion. Like, at least they keep talking about stuff, but I haven't really seen much from them. Like, I don't really know what to expect, because other than the stuff that they've been delivering on like PC and stuff, they haven't delivered much in the past, I guess. Or I don't know about it or something. I don't know. It just seems like one of those things where we kind of have to wait and see what happens based on what they can do. Kind of have to let them, try.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, at least they keep supporting it and trying to get it, having its platform with their games and whatnot, but I don't know. it's a bit pricey. I'm looking at this, and I don't know if you have to like pay a certain amount just to get the Vita version. It kind of looks like that. Like you have to pay $225 just to get the Vita version.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I might be reading that wrong. Let me check. I'm gonna
I
go.
missed that when I skimmed.
Yeah, I don't know, cause like it says, I would assume that you'd be able to get the Vita version by just donating for the um, like digital version. I don't know.
Doesn't always work that way, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no
It's
idea.
some, yeah. I guess we probably should have looked into that a little bit more. But yeah, just from kind of what I know about it and what I did skim there, it seems like it's one of those things where we got to kind of let them try and see what happens because, as you know, hard and blah blah blah, and you know, as kind of new as this is to them, um, it's one of those things where you can either do it or you can't, and got to kind of try to see.
Right. Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. So, sorry, non-skipper, we're not the best at answering that question.
All right, and the next question is, what are your thoughts on the localization announcement for Galgun? And he gives a link there too.
Well, aren't all localizations good?
Yes, I guess. Like, I mean, if they're done completely piss poorly, maybe not. But yeah, other than that, yes.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, hey, more games playable in my native language so I could understand it if I was interested. I haven't really looked too much about this game, mainly because I just didn't know that it was announced to come over here. So if it's Japanese only, I don't really give too much interest into it unless it's like a property that I know really well, like any Sword Art Online announcement that we've been hearing back in the day when we first started hearing them. I'm like, oh my god, you better come over. Or like recently coming out this week is the Digimon game, like all that stuff. Like I'll keep my eye on that because that's something I really want. So yeah, I mean, my thoughts are positive. More games, easier to get a hold of. Nothing wrong with that. What about you,
Yeah,
Kyle?
I guess I'm with you. Galgun's, it's not really on my radar too much. Like, I mean, you never know when it comes out because sometimes I kind of wax and wane between genres or whatever. But it's not too much on my radar right now, so we'll have to see.
Yeah. 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 Well, all right. Thanks, Non-Skippo, for your questions. Um, let's head to the next one. So we got a really short question here from George Magalai. I don't know how to say your name. I'm sorry, but you're on Twitter. It's JorgeMagalHaes 9. So he asks, importing games, is it a good thing?
If you can get it for a good price, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of the issues with importing games is you either don't get the DLC, which is a little bit of a disappointment to somebody, or some people, sorry, and the price can, you know, be kind of crazy depending. And also, like, the other thing to think about is, can you play the game? Because some games only come out in Japanese language or Chinese language or something like that. Some come with a kind of wonky translated English thing, and some come with like partial English menus. So like it depends on what game you're playing, but as long as you know what you're getting into with the game and can find it for a reasonable price, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, if the game's never going to come over here and you really want to play it, then go for it if you can afford it. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it really depends on your situation and what you're wanting to import. I don't see why there could be anything really bad about it unless you're overpaying and whatnot. So, yeah. All right. Thank you, George, for your question. Kyle, what do we got next?
All right, next up is a long form one. This one's via email, and it starts. Hey guys, what do you guys think about Square Enix localizing Adventures of Mana only for mobile and leaving Vita version in Japan? I'm pissed about it. The game is translated. It can't be too hard to put it on PSN too, can it? My deeper take is that we should start worrying about Dragon Quest Builders, Dragon Quest Heroes 2, Setsuna, and Scarlet Graces getting Vita versions over here. Square Enix has shown they don't care about releasing on Vita at all. As much as we all get on Sony about support, Geo Corsi would probably need to get involved. Everyone start tweeting now. Thanks guys, Gary H. at HussNotHuff on Twitter.
Okay. Yeah, that's a little unfortunate that they're leaving the Vita version out. As it being too hard to put on PSN, I mean, I think that cost a lot more money. A lot more money. So if they don't see the return being profitable, then I mean they're not going to do it. And with different properties, I feel like, I mean, it's like if you have, like, let's say Final Fantasy and then some genre or some title that you don't really know too much. I mean, for Final Fantasy, they'll probably be like, yeah, we're going to put this on everything because everyone knows Final Fantasy. And maybe not enough people know this game. So I feel like maybe the Adventures of Mana game, they don't feel like they would make a big enough return. So they're just going to stick to mobile, something that's super easy and isn't super expensive. Whereas like a game like Dragon Quest Builders, the Dragon Quest series in general is well known. A lot of people know Dragon Quest. So I don't really see the risk of those not making it over and only going to like mobile if there was even a mobile version for those games. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely something to think about. But personally, I'm not that worried. I'm more worried of them never even bringing those games over just because they don't want to. So, I don't know. What about you, Kyle?
I don't know. I think if there's interest in stuff like the kind of word of mouth of it, we'll get it to bring over. It doesn't matter kind of who the company is unless they're completely adamant against it. Yeah, the thing about the Adventures of Mana only coming for mobile and leaving the Vita version, as you said, that has to do with money. It costs a lot of money to get something onto Vita, and especially like across the regions and stuff like that. And there's a lot of like pre-costs kind of involved with that. So I can understand them only going for the easier platforms to get onto and the cheaper platforms to get onto. So that kind of makes sense. And like I don't know about you, Tyler, but Adventures of Mana wasn't really on my radar, so it kind of shows you how much they've got the word of mouth out to want people to have it. So
yeah,
there you go.
And you never know, having Adventures of Mana come to mobile first could be very profitable to them, and then they'll be like, all right, we've got this Vita version sitting here, now let's push it out in North America for them as well. So I mean,
yeah, we've seen that happen before, so that's not out of the question.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll just chill for a little bit, but yeah, it's something to think about for sure, I would say. All right. Thank you, Gary, for your questions. Now we've got a few here from Jim. He separates them between us, so
I'll read yours, you read mine.
All right. Perfect.
All right. Tyler, just a few questions on your YouTube channel, Mr. PS3 Reviews. How many years has it been going?
I started in the year the Vita came out, so 2012, right? That's when the Vita came out.
In the West, yes.
Yeah, so I believe it was April of 2012 is when I started, so a few years.
There you go. How long did it take you to reach 10,000 viewers? Was it a slow climb to 5,000, then it just took off fast?
So I'm assuming 10,000 subscribers is what he's saying.
Yeah, I assume so.
So, yeah, it took a while. I mean, if you think about it, I am just now getting close to 4 years of doing this, and I just now passed 10,000. So, I mean, it's a slow climb. I think going from 0 to like 1,000 was ridiculously slow. Like it was. I mean, no one knew who I was. The Vita wasn't very popular to begin with, and my quality of videos, to be honest, weren't that great. I was very new to it. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't even know what I was wanting to do. I was just making videos, so I think the beginning was a very slow climb, and then after, like you say, passing 5,000, then it took off fast. I mean, it went faster. There's some videos you can look back at on my channel and be like, that's where he really took off. Like if you go to my Minecraft video, I was one of the very first people to have like Minecraft videos of the Vita version because no one had access to it, and I was able to go to PAX in Seattle and they had Minecraft, so I posted a video up of Minecraft and that boosted my subscribers, and then I made one of the very first actual Minecraft videos, and that video is at like 200 and something thousand views, and that's gotten me a ton of subscribers. So I mean, you gotta like hit those marks sometimes. Sometimes it's just luck. I'm able to get a game video out before anyone else, and people see that and they hit the subscribe button. Other times it's just word of mouth. So yeah, it's a interesting, weird story, I would say, but it's been good. It's been fun. Still going strong.
All right, so we finished that off with sounds like an interesting story, which Tyler mirrored there. And I like the channel, man, to keep it going. So there you go.
Thank you, Jim. All right, now we've got questions for Kyle. You ready, Kyle? You ready?
Yep.
All right, he says, I just finished Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. The story was great, and I was hoping the sequel was going to involve the survivors foraging... Okay, this might have spoilers. So I'm going to say that right now. Spoilers maybe for Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc if you have not.
Definitely kind of spoilers, so if you haven't played this, skip ahead a little.
All right, yeah, there you go. Yeah, so anyways, continuing. Involving the survivors foraging a new life in the destructed world outside the school. Obviously, the sequel does not go that way after I spent 15 minutes in Goodbye Despair, but do you know if there is a manga, novel, or the new game in development that ever touches back with the surviving Trigger Happy cast? If anyone knows, good chance you would. Thanks.
All right, so that's pretty easy to answer. Just keep playing the game. I know you kind of think it doesn't wrap back around, but there's stuff in there that will help clear things up. Let's put it that way. So without spoilering. And then, so there's that game, that Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc, and then Goodbye Despair, and then there's also Danganronpa Another Episode, Ultra Despair Girls. So that's the third one that was released, and it's supposed to be the third one that's played as well, so don't get ahead of yourself, but it does fall between them, so that'll fill in some more information kind of for you, and yeah, so you're going to want to play them all.
Yeah.
In release order.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be looking around on the internet for this answer that you're wanting to get. You just need to play the game.
Never Google anything Danganronpa. That's the worst thing you can do, and don't watch the anime.
Yeah.
Because it's just junk. That's not for any spoiler reason. It just sucks.
Yeah. All right, and then he finishes up with a question for both of us saying, which of the three Danganronpas is your favorite? If you played the first, should you bother with the second, or vice versa?
All right, well, I guess I'll go first on that one, too. My favorite. I don't know, man. I think it might be Danganronpa 2. That was a pretty crazy ride. It was, like, I went into it and I was like, oh, is this going to be, like, the same thing as the first one and, like, kind of different? And then it just kept throwing me, like, curveballs. Like, it'd make it look like it was going one way and it's like, no. And I was like, oh, fuck. So, yeah, that was pretty good. The third one, Ultra Despair Girls, that one that goes kind of in between, was really good, but because it kind of drew outside the lines of what they were going for with the first two, it doesn't compare as much, I guess. So yeah, I don't know. For me, it's 2-1 Ultra Despair Girls.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go with the first one. For me, obviously, it was the first one that I played, and I'd never played any of them before, so it was my first take on this story, these characters, this type of gameplay, and it just hooked me. And even though number 2 was more of the same, but also very different, which was good, I still think that first experience with those characters and Monokuma and whatnot was just, it's engraved in my mind and will never be forgotten, that experience. Whereas I had a lot of fun in 2 and still remember that. I don't think it's going to be as impactful as how the first one felt to me. So yeah, there you go. We're different, Kyle. We're different.
Yep.
Alright, and he finishes up saying, later guys, God bless Jim. And then this is not for the podcast?
Yeah, we can skip that.
Alright, I'm going to read it real quick while you read the next question.
Alright, here's the next question. Hello, I want to wish that you and the Vita Lounge crew had a great holiday. I have a few questions and I hope you can answer them. Thank you for your time and have a great day. Here's the first question. What games are you looking forward to the most for 2016 on Vita? I'm looking forward to Shantae, Half Genie Hero, Sword Art Online, Hollow Realization, Digimon, Cyber Sleuth, the God Eater games, and more. So that's his list. What about you, Tyler?
Okay, so yeah, there's a few that you touch on here yourself. Sword Art Online, of course, Digimon, yes, the God Eater games, of course. Attack on Titan is definitely way up there for me. Severed, I'm so looking forward to that. I mean, oh my gosh, there's just too many games to play, Kyle. Too many.
There is.
What about you?
Yeah, okay. Attack on Titan, Estival Versus, Hollow Realization for sure, Cyber Sleuth. I'm kind of excited for the God Eater games, but it's not super up there for me. What else? There's a lot. Like I know we've kind of gone over this before, and I think a lot of them were showcased in the videos that I did for 2016. My personal favorites, because those are the ones that I obviously remembered first. So if you're interested, have a look at those. But yeah, there's just so much. Like, I mean, I think my top ones are definitely Attack on Titan, Estival Versus, and Hollow Realization. But there's just so much Tyler. I could easily pick out 50 games coming out this year that I want. So yeah.
So much to play.
Pretty much. You can do the next question.
All right. So the next question here. How do you guys play through JRPGs for reviews? I am currently playing Summon Night 5 for you guys, and while I am really enjoying my time playing it, how do you get through some of the harder parts of games? Got stuck a few times during my time playing Summon Night, so I wonder what is the best way to go about getting through those harder portions of games for reviews.
Alright, so this is a pretty good question. You just kind of throw yourself at it. I think that's the best way to go through it, because a lot of the time, even though you'll kind of come to a point where you've, got stuck or whatever, something will get you through, whether it's wandering around and finding the answer, whether it's grinding until you have, the stats you need, whether it's reading the manual, something will get you through. So there's a lot of things you can do. It's harder with review games, especially ones that aren't out yet or haven't been out long, because there's not really anyone you can ask for the hard stuff that's actually like challenging. Like, say if you hit a puzzle you can get past or something like that, it'd be a lot harder. So in those situations, we kind of tend to ask other reviewers, or even send an email to the publisher, developer, whoever, and try and get their input on it. I know with Guacamelee, I actually got stuck reviewing that before it came out, and I was like, oh man. And I know it's not a JRPG, but still, like, when you get stuck in a game like that, it's kind of piss poor. So I'm like trying for hours and hours, and I ended up emailing one of the Drinkbox guys, and he got back to me with an answer. So sometimes that's what you got to do. Sometimes you just got to throw yourself at it. It's do what you can, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on the game, too. You're asking for JRPGs and whatnot. Like, most of those, like, sometimes you just need to, like, pull back and, like, grind a bit. Like, if, let's say, you're fighting a boss that's really difficult, I mean, you just pull back, you level up some characters, you become stronger, and then it makes it a lot easier. I normally always start my JRPG games on normal. I don't want to play it on hard difficulty just because I'm not familiar with the RPG, and I don't want to play it on easy because then I just don't want to like be challenged. So I don't know. I mean, with games like I was saying, where no one else really has their hands on it, only reviewers have it. Yeah, it can be a little bit annoying. There's a part in Trails of Cold Steel where, without spoiling stuff, I had to find something that was very difficult to find, and it took a long time to find. It would have been real nice to ask someone, but sometimes you just gotta push through it. It can be frustrating at times, for sure. So, yeah. Anyways, next up, Kyle, what is it?
All right, the last question from this fellow is, what indie games, do you want to land on Vita in the future, not currently announced? I would personally love Freedom Planet to land on the Vita sometime in the future.
Huh. So this one's difficult because I don't really have any in mind that I can think of personally.
Well, I can go first, or only, depending on whether you think of one. And the only one that I can kind of think of, and it's because it was recently talked about, I think, on the PlayStation blog, and that's Stickbold. It's a dodgeball adventure game coming to PS4, and I think it's Rain Brothers, I think, who bring the game. But yeah, I looked at that, and it looks kind of cool, and I would play that if it was on Vita, but I'm finding that I don't really boot up my PS4 to play games unless it's like almost a cinematic experience, something like Bloodborne or like Until Dawn or something like that. It's otherwise I want it on Vita or I'm not going to play it, kind of. So yeah, there you go.
Well, all right. Yeah, I don't really have anything in mind, so I can't really answer that. I'm sorry.
Well, there you go. Those questions were sent via email by RK128, and that's Robert. So thanks for the questions, Robert. And I'm still working on your review, so hold tight.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've got Check This Out, and I totally forgot about that segment. So I haven't looked at anything to check out. So while you guys are just hanging out, listening to the podcast, and Kyle's having a good time, and Tyler's wasting time keeping you distracted while he's looking up the story right now.
All right, to jump out of that for a second, we'll jump to the threads to look at on the forum this week right quick first. And we have actually one this week, and it is trying to make a list of ad hoc Vita PSP games, any input appreciated. So Kresnik over on the forum has a Google Doc, and he's trying to keep track of all the Vita and PSP games that are ad hoc. So yeah, if you know of that or want to know what ad hoc means, because you don't, hop over to that thread and maybe you can help him out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
Ready
that.
yet, Tyler?
Nope.
Fail.
Give me a second.
Fail.
Almost there. Almost there. Shh, quiet time. All right.
Do 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 do.
I'm working on it. God damn it. Okay. All right. No, that's really expensive. That's not really a deal. All right. Anyways, I'm gonna list off this game right here. Ooh, that's 30% off though. So is that. Okay. Danganronpa, another episode, Ultra Despair Girls. It's on sale right now if you have PlayStation Plus, I think. Yeah, it's 30% off. It's normally $40. It's right now. It's $27. So it's a fun, interesting new take on the Danganronpa series. If you're a fan of Danganronpa, I think you won't be too disappointed in this. It's definitely a lot different, though. It's a third-person shooter, so if you've never even heard of it, you were going to be like, what? But, hey, you should check it out. It's a fun game. I still need to beat it, but I've got a lot to play, so Kyle can attest to my suggestion.
Yes, I forget what score I gave it on the Vita Lounge, but it's high 4s, so you should definitely get it.
Yeah. Well, alright, there we go. We can get out of here now, Kyle.
Finally, I don't have to talk to your stupid ass anymore.
I can go to sleep, jackass. We've been recording for about an hour and a half, so let's get out of here. If you got listener mail or comments, contact us via media services at thevitalounge.net. You can find everything we talked about today at thevitalounge.net. News, reviews, feature articles, store updates, podcast, a community forum, and a magazine, both digital and physical. You can support the site and get physical copies of the magazine via patreon.com/thevitalounge. You can follow us on Twitter and Facebook at The Vita Lounge on Twitter. I'm at Mr. PSVITA Reviews, and Kyle is at Teflon Tactics. And you can also check us out on Facebook. Just search The Vita Lounge. We also have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/loungeplay. Now with more videos. And this podcast is available on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, YouTube, and via direct download on the site. That is it. That is episode 108. We will be back soon for more fantastic Vita news for you and your friend that's sitting right next to you, washing the dishes at your new apartment you just got.
Fucking Tyler.
Would that be weird, though, if someone's doing that?
Yeah, I think so.
And now they're going to be freaked out when they're doing that? It's going to be great.
You're a little scary, Tyler.